Shall we play a game?
G'day viewers, how we doing? Happy for those from Yankee Land 250th birthday, celebrating the anniversary where the grumpy child moved out of home from England. Anyway, we're going to have a look at the CNS Alpine Tunnel route, Colorado and Southern, from Milepost Simulations. It's only got one review. Should I read it to you? Maybe I should. Maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. I could. Apparently it's got two reviews, but it'll only show me one of them, so I reckon the other ones are rude. But it says, same old assets, sounds and models. Agree with that. Scenarios and locos are bugged. I agree with that. While textures are of really good value, if only we're still in 2012. Well, it is TSC. What do you want? The route goes from nowhere to almost nowhere. I agree with that as well. I understand ending in Pitkin instead of Gunnison, as you could add and remove helpers there before the climb to the pass. But why start from St Elmo and not Buena Vista? I agree with that too. There we go. It's not an unfair review, to be honest. But anyway, welcome along. And that sets the scene for how good this is. Now, it actually looks pretty good, to be honest, given it's Train Sim Classic. It's a bastard of one to drive, though. Very hard to drive. And I reckon I'll probably edit this loco with TS Tools a bit later on and fix it up. Righto. So let's get on with it. There are a bunch of scenarios. So there's the Chalk Creek Local, which is split into two parts. That goes from St Elmo to Romley. And yeah, the tunnel's actually closed in that one, which is bizarre. And then it goes on from Romley back to St Elmo. So it's up the hill and down the hill. Good. Eastbound mixed freight from Pitkin to Alpine and from Alpine to St Elmo. I get the impression you don't actually get to go through the tunnel, so we'll find out. I haven't actually been that far up the hill yet. Evening excursion, which is a full run St Elmo to Pitkin. Westbound mixed part 1. Train number 93 from St Elmo to Alpine, and then the second part, Alpine to Pitkin, which is why I think you don't get to drive the tunnel, I reckon, because they split it. Winter helper duties, which is you're running the head end of the train, and then you run light to Hancock. Who said that? I didn't say that. And then you take an extra freight from Hancock to Pitkin. So I kind of reckon we'll start with the eastbound mixed, and we'll see how far we get. We'll see if I can even make this bastard move. Let's get on with it. Now, where's my CSCX software? Is it actually running or is it crashed again? I don't see it anywhere. Oh well, we'll see if it works. At least we're on the flat, because a lot of the other, it's very loud in my ears. How is it in yours? Looks a bit loud. I might just drop that down a little bit. That's better, isn't it? I think. Yeah, so it'll stop yelling at us now. The guy's running a lot of blower. At least this is starting on the flat. The other scenarios all start on the 30% gradient, which is a bastard to actually get it moving, and I think most people will give up. It took me a good half an hour to get it moving on the scenario that starts up the hill in the snow. But anyway, while the review says same old models, those models actually look okay to me. They're decent. They're Train Sim Classic stuff. We appear to have 3 locomotives in this one. There's no way to control the back ones. They just do whatever they want to do. We are here at Pitkin, in the only flat part of the entire route, I think. We've got a passenger car on the back. Nice. We're running a mixed. Ooh. Here's a covered wagon. Well, there you go. I thought we'd run this today because, you know, it's 250th birthday and all, and this is new. It's from Milepost Simulations. And I have to say, it's the usual level of quality that we would expect from that particular organisation. Shall we get out of here? I think we should get out of here. So we'll dive into the train. It actually wants to load people, doesn't it? So, doors? No? Tea? We have some brakes on. That's brakes, okay, so that one will be reverser. Good. But it does want to do its thing, but it doesn't want to open the doors, which makes me think that that carriage actually isn't in the depot, so we have to pull forwards. Probably to get that green carriage to stop here would be my bet. So why don't we do that? And let's bring that back from 80. That's silly. Let's go to about 62. That'll do. Brakes off. And let's give it some beans. Is only the front one doing anything? I kind of think so. More beans, shall we? More beans. Why are you going backwards? Why are you going backwards? I'll go backwards. Oh, you're on a 1.5% gradient. That's why you're going backwards. Maybe we do need more reverser. Let's try there. All right, that stopped it. Is it going to go forwards now? Yeah. Not sure if the other locomotives are actually doing anything or not. More beans? This would be slip material now. If this was real locomotives with real physics, but no, it's milepost locomotives with bollocks physics, so it doesn't matter. It's fine. I think I've actually got a fixed version of the B4D on another route that I edited and made good. So I might have to transplant that from its route to this one. You can do that in TSC. You can just copy the asset files around to your heart's content. We are accelerating. Barely. We'll get this car into the platform yet. Because, you know, there's good ladies waiting for us. She's a bit desperate. For a ride, I mean. Hello, Andy Ladd, Michael Newbury, and Rails of Illinois, and the others who are watching along. So if you're thinking about picking this up, make sure you know how to use TS tools, because the locos are massively underpowered for what they are. So these B4Ds are actually very, very similar to the locomotives that I run on the real Heritage Railway, and I can tell you they're a lot more powerful than these. They have no challenges whatsoever starting on a 3% gradient, and they'll run up a 3.6 to a 3.8 at 15 mile an hour quite happily, whereas these things struggle to make 5. So there's something vastly wrong with these ones. Yeah, check your watch, love. You probably wouldn't have a wristwatch in this era. It would more likely be a fob. And not to mention, in this particular era, you probably would have been travelling without your man. And also in this particular era, you would have been wearing skirts that went down to your feet, not down to your knees. But that's okay. Come on, more power. Once we get this on here, we may run backwards down the main line as far as we can and get a run up for the gradients. Because it's got to be a big bloody hill. Even with 3 locomotives. Because as you can tell, they are struggling. Now, hopefully, if I stop her there... Brakes wouldn't have taken that long to come on. Can I load her up? No. Well, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Is it because it's not quite in the platform, maybe? No, let's try again then. Let's give her lots of beans, which should slip but won't, and lots of reverser, which should slip but probably won't. You just finished rail fanning for today, Rails. That's cool. Where did you go? See, now it's not doing anything. 100% throttle, 80% reverser. It's thinking about moving. Oh, it is going to move. Look at that. All right, lots of brakes. No, not reverser, lots of brakes. Will it load now? Yes! Finally. Alrighty. I don't know what our water's like in the carriage locomotives. Don't care. There is a ski jump. Order 12, train number 66, train 94, Pitkin, engine 66, train 94, run between Pitkin and Alpine Tunnel. Who wrote this? A fucking 4-year-old? With helpers 63 and 62. Meet train 93, engine 68 at Woodstock. Right. Home of the hippies. So there is a ski jump. I did enjoy in one of the other milepost routes launching locomotives and trains off the ski jump by running them from the top of the hill and routing them over the ski jump. And I am absolutely certain that at some point we'll do that because the route is quick drive compatible. Alrighty, let's get our reverser back to about 70%. Brakes off. Let's get some honking into it. Wesley Bowman, hello. Have you gone out to see this Union Pacific 4014 big boy? Well, no, because I'm in a different country, mate. So this is where I tell you this locomotive is balked, because look, it's thinking about moving at 46% throttle. Thinking about moving. Yeah, and then. I'm really surprised they released it like this, because this isn't good. Either that or someone at Milepost actually thinks this is what these locomotives are like, but they're not. They're definitely not this underpowered. Because these are actually bigger than the ones that I run, and the ones that I run could cope with this load no problem at all. So if we look at our map, we're there, and we're going there. Is that good? That's good. All right. Let's see if I can bring the reverser back a tad and still accelerate, because we're going to use too much steam at this rate. You went to the Illinois Railway Museum. Very cool. Do I remember correctly, you've been volunteering at that museum, Rouse? Okay, we are finally actually accelerating, but at this rate we're going to use all our water up. We'll pretend that's okay. So for Trade Sim Classic, it looks pretty nice. You will need, like all the milepost routes, you'll need a fairly good CPU to actually run this. Your GPU doesn't really matter very much with Trade Sim Classic, but your CPU does. See if I can tickle the reverser back a little bit. Well, it's holding speed. It's not going to be the fastest run today, I can tell you that. Now, if you have a look at the gradient on the map down the bottom, 3.3, which is the same as the steepest gradient on my railway. This is significantly longer, though. I thought you were going to be volunteering there, Rouse. I thought you'd signed up for it. Maybe I got that wrong. Let's put the headlight on, shouldn't we? Look at a steam chest pressure gauge. No, I think that's brake pipe and brake cylinder. No steam chest pressure gauge, that's a pity. Oh, look at it, it's almost a flat bit. I'm actually quite impressed with this speed. This is significantly faster than I managed to make it do when I was checking that it worked okay yesterday. So this route is available now. It is from Milepost Simulations. It is, whoops, sorry. I think it's a $41.95 Australian, so it's probably about 30 American, I would think. It's not up there with Clear Creek. If you're looking for a narrow gauge route, I think I'd pick up Clear Creek ahead of this one. I really like Clear Creek, and there's a lot of Clear Creek itself as a DLC. It has a lot of DLC for the DLC. There's quite a lot of stuff that you can pick up for Clear Creek, which I like. And it's Clear Creek where I fixed this loco, so I might just copy it over. I'm pretty sure it is. Anyway, let me just look behind the scenes while this is climbing up the hill. I'm pretty sure it's Clear Creek that I fixed it for. Let me just have a look. Just gotta remember which drive this is installed on. Railworks, there it is. content, routes. Hey, actually, who made Clear Creek? That would be helpful to know. So, don't know if it was these guys. In fact, Clear Creek's on special right now. Hey, it was these guys, Milepost. Yep, okay. So if I go find Milepost... Actually, they're JL, aren't they? Yes, there they are. Clear Creek, rail vehicles, steam, B4D. Yes, it's got edits that I did in 2025. Yeah, so I'll copy it over from Clear Creek and it'll work a whole lot better then. $35.99 Canadian. So what's at the Illinois Rail Museum at the moment, Rails? Anything good? Yeah, we're losing speed. Let's just tickle the reverser just a touch. In reality, these locomotives would run up a gradient like this, probably on about 45% cutoff. But if you try that with these, they will fail. So with ours, we use the for most of them, the 5th notch on the bar, and for one of them the 6th, because it's grumpy. She's a grumpy old girl. Mower throttle, because we're losing it. Be amusing if we can't get up the hill, won't it? Because she's a long hill and there's no brakes. From the hill, I mean. Let's tickle the reverser a little more. No, we're still losing speed. I don't want to go wide open throttle on the thing, but I might have to. Let's just tickle the reverser a little bit more, see how we go. They do sound okay. Not a fan of the dead straight water edges with no attempt at feathering, because, you know, that looks like a man-made canal, but that's not what it would be up here in the mountains. Looks like we are slightly picking up speed again. We are, definitely. But I hate to think how much water we're using. Where's this signal it thinks we just passed? I don't see a signal, do you? Invisible signals. Oh, magnificent. Is this the signal, do you reckon? I reckon that might be the signal. The milepost. Oh, we're picking up speed again quite handsomely now. good deal. We're going to run out of water. The track's actually up there, by the way. Up along there. That's where we're going. So if you're not expecting a fast run, it's pretty enough. And it does, apart from the man-made canal, it does evoke a Colorado kind of feel. So I'll give them that. Because I have been here. I have visited these places. Colorado is officially high desert, so there's not a lot going on in the high desert landscape, and this is a good feel for it. It's got a fairly sparse sort of forest, and it's all just mainly the one kind of tree, which makes sense. There's a few others, but not a lot. This area does see snow in winter, quite a lot of it. Won't whistle too much, so I want to waste the steam. I think I'm going to need it. What do you think, pussy? What's probably the last Train Sim World 6 roadmap comes out next week. I was thinking of not having my head and just getting the cat to read it. Just sort of as a joke. I think it'll be funny. That gives you a pretty good idea how steep it is, actually. But the guy that was complaining about the actual rolling stock, I don't really think that's fair, because if you... They look nice. Even the locos look nice. They're just not performing very well. So it is the same stuff. It actually does look like the same stock from Clear Creek, so... It's another place to use your stock, I suppose. So stick your hand up if you've been to Colorado, to any of the surviving railways. There's two. There's the Durango and Silverton, and there's the, what is the other one called? The one through Gunnison, which is actually the other end of this railway. Quartz, Maine, not terribly far away. And if it wasn't for having to start this train on the gradient, I would get water. We'll see. If it goes flat in the town, I'll get water. It's better go up the other end, eh? So we can see it. Just let them know we're already coming if the thundering of the stacks hadn't already told them. There's a car restoration channel I follow that calls the exhaust pipe music pipes. These are music pipes. Do you know, for an engine that's going flat out, look at that lackadaisical smoke. It should be going woof, woof, but no. Welcome to Train Sim Classic, where we make a half-assed attempt. Cumbrian Toltec, that's the one. Thank you, Rails. looks like we would have to branch off if we were going into town. So we'll have a look at town in a moment, because first up we've got a gratuitous bridge shot to manage, so we'll just get that out of the way. Because, you know, we have to do this. And we have to do this. Now we can go look at the town. So there's no water here anyway. Just a little bit of a delivery thing. It's sad that they didn't take advantage of this and you actually come and pick up some cars. That would be really cool. That would be very challenging, but cool. Hello, Ian Bradley. Welcome along. No Dose Gaming, Durango and Silverson was Heiss. Hey, Mark Huber works. Yeah, he is up there. I wouldn't say he works there, though. I don't think he quite works there. You're waiting on maintenance away for Railroader. Indeed. That's going to be excellent, I think. I'm actually quite looking forward to that. I'm going to start my railway again when it comes out. Partly because it's very likely to bugger up all the mods. And since I rely on Strange Customs and Railloader, that'll be the end of that. I'm actually thinking about whether I take a copy of Railroader offline. But I have a faint suspicion Steam will lock that down. Yeah, I didn't think he worked there. He's just been there. He's been on my railway too. I don't know what Rail Forge is, No Dose Gaming. Let me do some Googling. Do you mean Train Forge? No, that's trains. That wouldn't be this one. Hello, Sam. How are you? Yes, he has been on my railway, and he did actually touch the girls, yes. They were all quite upset about him touching them. If people don't know, steam engines are female. They're always female. It's because they work best when they're hot and slippery. Yep, I'm losing speed again. Tickle the throttle just a little. Just weighing on the regulator. He didn't really get his hands on with the girls, he just got to stand in the cab. I actually haven't got any firing gigs on my railway this month because I didn't get on the roster. In fact, let me have a look at it while I'm doing this and see if anything's opened up, because if anything's opened up, I will jump into it. Because I kind of want to fire. because I'm going to be in the UK next month, so I won't have a chance next month. Well, I will, but not on my railway. What have we got? No, no openings anywhere at all. Listen to those injectors sing. I am running the auto fireman. Because as a real life fireman, I seriously could not be bothered doing it in a game. Because no one emulates it properly. Yeah, the signals on Milepost, look at that. There's not one train game that properly emulates steam firing. There's one that promises to, but I don't think it's not on the horizon yet. Seems to get the impression it's a year or more away. So we'll see what it brings. We'll see what it brings. Coal and Steel Railroad Videos says the only one that I wouldn't count on not female would be the big boy. I don't know about that. It's pretty cantankerous. I do know someone who actually works on that thing. And Heist is technically seasonally employed by the DNS. Alright. I don't think he was actually an employee. But if he is, that's cool. He does at least know his stuff. So you can appreciate his commentary on games because he does actually handle locomotives. He does actually understand how stuff works. So you can appreciate his content from that angle. Because I think if your average streamer got hold of this one, for example, they wouldn't know that the settings I'm running on to make this thing do this are completely and utterly unrealistic, and they'd go, look at this is great. And I go, well, no, it's not, because it's not behaving like a real train. I mean, it looks okay. It sounds tolerable. I don't mind the sound. The landscape's pretty. I think they've done a good job with the landscape. Oh, we're losing speed again. Makes me think we're running out of steam. No, we're still sitting on 150 pound. These are 150 pound locos. Ours run 170. Which does make a bit of a difference, I have to say. See, why are we losing speed now? Oh, that'd be why. The gradient's changed. Let's tickle the throttle a bit more. Let's see what we can do. We may have to tickle more than the throttle, though. We're still losing. Let's tickle the... Do you know if you actually grab the Johnson bar with this much regulator on, it would break your arms. It would just rip them out of your sockets. You really can't move the bar when you're under heavy power. It's not like those nice Pommy locos where you just unclip the thing and just wind the wheel a notch and drop the clamp back on. No. The big Johnson bar, which is the big lever that does this, that thing is evil when you're under full power. You really shouldn't touch it. And when you do, you get your feet up on against the carrier and the other one braced against the back wall of the locomotive, and you get right in there, really on the arm strength, just so you can go and move it whatever little bit that you desperately need to move it. And if you try and casually move it, you'll either end up hurting yourself or the locomotive, because it'll just take off on you. And it'll be really sad. You'll be really sad and be really hurting. And your locomotive could be really hurting. And then the fitters in the workshops will be making you really hurting out the back of the shed. because they have to fix whatever you did to it. Look at Mr. Relaxed Fireman over there. He hasn't moved a bit, even though he's got coal. He'd be shoveling almost non-stop going up this hill, about every minute. Coal and steels use the Johnson bar to stop on the big grade on our railroad. Yeah, that's done on some railways. But normally you're not under power when you're doing that, and you might power it a little bit to help it stop, but it's not a common practice anymore. It used to be. It's actually how trains stopped before air brakes. But now that we've got air brakes, we tend to use them. Sam says, skip to full forward and the loco goes flying off around a curve, ends up on its side, almost crushing teenagers. Someone let it drive unsupervised. The reason's not to attend a railway anymore. That wouldn't be a good idea. It's like our big locomotives, the South African Garrett. In their real-life history in South Africa, they spend almost as much time upside down or on their side as they do on the tracks. So we're kind of careful to not run it at those speeds. Because in their real life, they ran at 50 mile an hour, which was incredible for a narrow gauge railway. We run them at a top speed of 15. Ooh, 3.9%. Let's tickle it again. I'm really concerned about how much water I must be using here. Full throttle. Still losing speed at full throttle and 70% reverser. Coal and Steel says your grade is 6%. We have to use the Johnson bar and air brakes to stop if needed. Where are you running that where you get 6%? 6% is a very unusual gradient. We've gone back to 3.9. Ah, the J&L. And you're one of the firemen. I know the J&L. I also know your Todd engine. I'm one of the people that helped finance that thing being moved. Very, very long time ago. Very long time ago. I did see the flywheel turning again the other day. It'd be really cool once it gets all put back together. But just seeing it turn is cool. And yes, you would have to use the Johnson bar to stop that thing because you don't have brakes on the locomotive, I don't think, from memory. I think you've only got train brakes. If I ever get back to the US, I'll come and visit. I don't see that happening in the near future though, so we shall see. But yeah, the J&L is actually quite a cool little railway. If you're around the area where the J&L is, in Youngstown, absolutely go and visit it. It's my kind of museum. There's just stuff everywhere. It's not a curated museum. It's just a bunch of people who are doing their absolute best to save some history. It's So don't expect, you know, stuff put up in big rooms and neatly painted signage and things like that. You've just got things the way they are, with a vague sense of organisation. Organisation and determination. I'd suggest that's where the J&L came from. Because one thing about your boss, he's one of the most stubborn people I've ever met. When he wants something, it will eventually happen. He doesn't really take no for an answer. Might take him 20 years and most of his own money, but he'll get there. Yeah, it's probably a good way to describe it, a working steel mill, railroad and steam museum. It'll be cool when you get the little rolling mills going. I'll be stunned if you can make enough steam to run the Todd, to run the rolling mill. But, you know, Rick's pulled off some amazing stuff, but we'll see what he manages. I think guys need to find a much bigger boiler for that thing. Just cranking the flywheel over is one thing, but actually getting it to do work will be a challenge, I think. Yeah, we're losing speed again. Party Hat G-Tag T2S, that's a name. And you got your ES44AC running, well done. That's good. Yeah, before we had things like Facebook and Snapchat, I used to run a email-based stationary engine group, and Rick was in that, and most of the people from the group that are already around that area, from Pennsylvania, Ohio, Illinois, Indiana, I think some as far from New York, some from California, some from Nevada, all got together to help move the Todd. And I wasn't in a position where I could get to America then, but I helped in a few other ways, so. Including hosting the list out of my pocket, because it was just a good thing to do. So you could think of it as the forerunner to the social network. You send him one email and it would, to the list, and it would blast it out to the couple of hundred people that were on it. I'm hoping this gradient eases a little bit because she's struggling. Party Hat G-Tag, this is Train Simulator Classic, and we're paying the Colorado and Southern Alpine Tunnel route from Milepost Simulations. And we're struggling a bit on the hill. Rick is a magician of preservation. I think that's a good way to describe the guy. He just somehow makes stuff happen. Stuff that you wouldn't think was possible. It just happens. He finds the right people at the right time who have got the right stuff or the right money, and it just kind of happens. Yeah, I really like the guy. All credit to him and the volunteers like yourself on the railway. It's quite a big deal to keep that stuff saved, because it's a very huge part of the local area's heritage. And I think that there's only 2 engines I think there's only 2 of the Todds still alive. There's that one and the other one that he's helping put together. Party Hat G-Tag. It didn't work for you. It gave you a error code. Transsim Classic is pretty notorious for shitting itself. I have got a video somewhere in my Train Simulator Classic tutorials on how to resolve the more common problems. Better than waiting for GTA 6, says Rails. Will we see that this year? I thought the other one was a Todd as well, but I guess not. The one that's going up in the big building at the mill. You tried everything and refunded it. Oh, that's sad. You do have to nurse this game a little bit because it is very old. This game is actually based on Microsoft Train Simulator. So it evolved into Railworks and that evolved into Train Simulator Classic. But it shares the same code base, so it's a very old game. It had some updates, was it last year or the year before? One or the other, to make it work on Windows 11 and make it work with the deprecation of the browser they were using for the main screen. Colin Steel, the other one's still a rolling mill engine. And you're putting together a rolling mill for it too, which is cool. It's a bigger one, I think, than the one you've got at the Little Museum. And you like your Train Sim World 6 with the RTX 5060? Yeah, if you're running at anything under 2K, the 60 series cards will go well for you. 70 series for 4K, 80 series for people who stream and record, and the 90 series for people who have got too much money and nothing better to do. Rails asks, how does the game get sound synced to locomotive assets? Well, that's the great secret, is they're not really. They do try, but they're not quite synced, not in the way that you'd think. It's more by accident. Cole says 5 total HK porters, but the 5th one is only parts. Yes, you've adopted the world's ugliest locomotive. So, it's the kind of child only a mum could love. Ooh, do I stop and get water? Do I stop and get water trying to start again on a 4% gradient? I don't even want to look at the F5 HUD, really. We got water. I don't know what's in the tender, because that's only what's in the boiler. There's plenty in the boiler. I think we won't, because I think it'll be too hard to get the bloody thing going again. I may regret this soon. Rail says, how does it go? Party says, Norfolk Southern favourite railroad because you got my ES44AC moving from tutorial 4 years ago. Who knows it would still work? Well, I'd hope it would still work. Colin Steele says, what do you expect from Rich? He's unique and she's powerful. Yep. You've got that dual engine thing too, the diesel. No, I didn't call the ES44AC ugly. I called the Porter. They are super heavy, those little locomotives. They have a lot of weight on them because they had to pull the steel trains around the mills. So they put an enormous amount of weight on them to get good traction. Where are we on the route? No, not too bad. And go by the main there. There's the other train that's waiting for us at Woodstock. I'm hoping we make it that far and don't run out of water. Rail sinks tier 4 Gevos look like camels. It's a weird concept. I think they look like sheds with a veranda. Do I have any Norfolk Southern video ideas for content? Run one on Clinchfield. Or you've got Horseshoe Curve. Hello, Wedge. Little siding out in the middle of nowhere. I'm trying to see if we get any relief from this gradient anywhere. But it doesn't really look like it, does it? Just go up and up and up. Randolph says, I don't know what's slower, the Rosalini from TSW or this. Oh, very much this. A Rosalini you can run at 30 kilometres an hour quite happily, so about 24? No, 18 miles an hour. This one is very slow. Party Hat, you've turned on your windscreen wipers in the game. How to turn them off? I'm new to TSW. Shift V, I think, from memory. You probably have to press it multiple times. Some of them cycle through, so you just use V over and over and over again until it cycles to off or park. Either should be fine. How far do you think we'll get before I have to roll back to that water tank anyway? There you go, Party Hat. All good. There's a playlist with about 600 tutorials on my channel for Train Sim World content. I don't tend to bother for the TSC content because they're all the same. Imagine building this route. In real life, I mean. Yes, Psych, welcome along, Narrow Gauge. Randolph says, cue the Jeopardy music. Party Hat says, Union Pacific map giving me a ton of lag. Any fix? In Train Sim World, you do need a reasonably fast CPU, but you also need a good GPU. And some of them just suck. Well, so by Union Pacific, I assume you mean Sherman Hill. That one's mostly okay, but up near the summit, there's a couple of spots where it's really bad. You can try tricks like turning in the settings, turn your screen percentage down to 50%. It will look awful, but it will run better. And if you get really desperate, you can always run it in a 1080 window as well. Ryzen 5 5500 and the CPU 5500. Let me have a look at the specs on that. I don't actually use the AMD stuff much. Yeah, it's not the fastest processor in the world, is it? The gradient is currently 3.6%, but it gets into the 4.5s quite regularly. And we need to stop at the Woodstock tank and get water. Grouse. I assume we have to do that for all three locos. Rail says I need to upgrade my computer. The one I use was 4 years old. My gaming machine, I put this one together in 2022, I think. You wanted your PC white, so you had no other choice. Yeah, fair enough. My PC case is white. Randall said, it'd be a good chill map, play your favourite music while just chilling, it'd be fun to pass the time. Oh, it's good on your own to do things like that, and I actually do often play music when I'm streaming. I'm not today, but I don't put the music out on the broadcast because it causes dramas. You made yours in January 2026, so it's not very old. I'm hoping Woodstock's on a bit of a flat. Yours keeps shutting down after 15 minutes. That means there's something seriously wrong with your computer, Rails. Definitely steep, says Psych. Yes, it is quite a steep run. Party Hat says first PC, built it installing Windows, wasn't fun. Installing Windows shouldn't be too much of a drama these days. Just takes a while. So, Woodstock tank. Pick up fuel or water from the Woodstock tank. Yeah, so it looks like we are doing it for all three locos. So there's the front one, the middle one, and then the rear one. At least they put spots in for it, so that's good. I'm not sure if that's where we cross to go downhill either. I don't think it quite is, but we'll see. Rail says it's mostly due to age. It's probably mostly due to malware. Ollie Trucker says, is PC locked or sleep mode? Shut down because your computer case tends to overheat. Well, that's not good. You should clean your fans. Yes, only fans. Only fans for Rails. You should definitely clean out your PC if that's happening. They do pick up a bit of dust. I can actually see on my filters that it's time to vacuum mine too. Holy Trucker says you need more fans. One thing that, if you're running Windows 10 or 11 that a lot of people don't know, when you shut down the computer, it actually doesn't. It just sleeps it. So when you're selecting shutdown, press the shift key so it really shuts down. Or use restart every now and again, because they just grind themselves into a mess after a while. So just before you click shutdown from the menu, hold down the left shift key, definitely the left shift key, and then click shutdown. And that will do a proper shutdown. Not just go to sleep. Two miles to the woody tank, which probably means it's over there somewhere. Because it's line of sight, not track miles. So it'll be way over there in the distance. And I'm hoping it's on a flatter spot than this. Because getting it going again is going to be interesting if it's not. We'll make something happen. Randolph's been trying to play TSW6 without the HUD. That is a good way to challenge yourself to learn the route. Ooh, we're losing speed again. Are we even going to make 2 miles? That's the question. We're almost on full reverser and full throttle back. I think we are on full reverser now. You'll be stopping at Woodstock Tank for water. If we make it. I'm beginning to wonder if we're going to make it. Holy Trucker suggests updating your BIOS. I would clean the machine out first. Awesome new patch. Train sim community. You can get a class 40 and a class 45, class 31 substitute onto the Crew to Preston route. That's cool. Yeah, the community do come up with some good mods, that's for sure. Syke says that is the scary sound. Randolph says the little engine that could. It might be the little engine that could not. Because we're losing speed quite quickly. What's our steam? Oh, we're still on 150. This is not looking good. Oh, we're slipping. We're slipping. Slipping. Let's try a bit less reverser and see if she'll get going again. I did briefly put the brakes on just to stop it slipping. Come on. Come on. You can do it. Maybe you can't. Come on. See, in reality, this would just go whoop, 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 and suck your fire out. This is why I say these trains are mostly unrealistic. Ian says, I was going to say, ask, will you make it? Oh, I don't know right now. Party said, how does the braking config make my wheel not slip on the ES44 AC? That won't change whether you slip or not on the ES44. Braking config just changes whether you can stop the train or not. You know, this isn't looking real promising here. Let's give it just a touch more. It's slowly moving, but you know, going 1.8 miles at this rate, it's not going to be good. It's moving so slowly that it doesn't even know to turn the wheels. Oh, there she goes. There she goes. All right, I'm just going to leave it. Let's see what it does. I think it's slipping a little bit. Let's do some sand. Come on, you can do it. Randolph says, do you have a blower or anything? Yeah, but you shouldn't need it when you're working this hard. Banking Com Party Hag, it basically simulates that in any locomotives in the rear of the train or in the middle of the train, there's another driver. And with Banking Com is simulating you talking over the radio going, hey mate, give us notch 8. Or run your independent, or whatever. It's basically it copies whatever you do. Psych says, hooray! Andy says, the guy who designed the mission tonight in DCS for the group I was in, right arsehole we've decided, ambushed us on landing with man-held SAMs and killed half of us as we were landing. Yeah, that's not a good way to lead a group. I'm impressed that this is getting going again, to be honest, especially with the reverser here. But, you know, I did say these locomotives were a bit broken. They are. But I'm just going to leave this way. It's all right, Party Hat. We all learn. Not an issue at all, mate. I don't know how we got this going again, but, you know, I'm happy. I'll lay off the sand and see she starts to slip again. Still accelerating, so we're doing all right. Psych, this is a Baldwin B4D. It's the big brother of the locos that I run called the Prairie. Randolph says the locomotive sucks, but the rolling stock looks really cool. Yeah, the loco is a bit shit. I mean, it looks nice and it sounds nice, but it's not driving properly. But she seems to be in her happy place right now, so we'll just go with the flow. So when you're out on the real trains and you stop on the 3% gradient on our railway, it's one of these moments whether you're going to get going again. Party Hat wants to know what people think of the ES44AC. I think it's just a locomotive. I prefer the old ones personally. Hello.
Do you want honey or maple syrup?
Do you want a what?
Honey or maple syrup?
Maple syrup, of course. I think I'm about to get pancakes. I was feeling a bit peckish. Let's race ahead and go check out these tanks. Where are they? Long way, all the way up here. There it is, and it's still on the grade. Oh, well, we got going once. Surely we can do it again. Surely we can do it again. We came from all the way down there, you know that? How would I rate the ES44AC on a scale of 1 to 10? In the game or in real life? Psych says yummy on the thought of pancakes. Ian says just bought the new West Coast mainline route, the 108-mile one. Doing the third scenario, can't remember the name of it, the train developed a flat tyre and you need to perform. I assume you're going to dump the carriage that's got a flat physical check at the next station when I couldn't leave the cab. That's bizarre. Did you get stuck in there? Did you put the cab near an invisible wall, maybe? We're losing speed again. Randolph says, I rated it a 7.3 out of 10. The American locos, the horn is a bit bland along with the rest of the route, but the other NS Heritage seems cool in TSW, again a bit bland. Yeah, the Heritage locos in liveries are quite nice. You can thank Adam from Skyhook for those. Party Hag saw the Pennsylvania Heritage unit unexpectedly a few months ago in real life. It's cool. It's always fun when you see something like that turn up. Syke says it's crazy how much distance it takes to get high enough. Amazing surveying. Yeah, finding a workable gradient through mountain passes is very hard. And a lot of people would have died building this route. It's like, come and work for the railways. You'll probably die. Don't worry about it. It's brilliant. You'll help lots of old, fat, rich men get older and fatter and richer. Your death is meaningful. I think the track goes up there, by the way. So we've got to gain that much height yet before we get to the tunnel. It's a pretty far away. Ian says it was at a station but appeared to be 12 feet tall, so we'll try again soon. I don't think I've actually run that scenario, so I'll have to give it a crack. Randolph says it's a good question. Who would randomly climb these mountains and plop down these tracks in the middle of nowhere? Well, they wanted to get somewhere, you see. They wanted to get from one coast to the other one, and up here it was about silver and gold and other metals, but only silver and gold could really keep the railway going. It was all about mining in this place. Party Hag says, I'm driving Sherman Hill, I just got it. And honestly, what's the best US map with tons of train crossings and towns? Well, if you want lots and lots of crossing gates, Peninsula Corridor is probably the best one for that. And if you're on PC, make sure you download the mod to get the Caltrain branding back. There aren't that many crossings on the freight routes generally. Ian says it's the only scenario that's 1.5 hours long. Oh well, we'll have to have a look at it. Maybe the cat can run it. What do you think, Cat? Can you handle things on your own for a bit? I don't know. Let me know how she goes. Party Hag doesn't know how to mod the game. If you're on PC, basically, I'll get you the website name, and the authors are quite helpful. That's the site where most of the Train Sim World mods are, and generally all you usually have to do is load them into the DLC folder. You work 16 and a half hours, Michael. Well, that's a bit shitty. That's a long day, mate. That's a very long day. Ian says we'd probably do better than me. I don't know. I'm just a player, mate. Not really any different to you guys. Randolph said, I feel like the best US map with the one with the most locos and cities is probably Stanford, New York, Providence. New York, not New York, it's New Jersey, isn't it? And I think Atlantic Terminal, forgot the other stations. Any of the routes around New York will have lots of stops. The Long Island Railroad routes also have lots of stops, not many crossings though. Oh, you meant the cat, Ian. Okay. The cat often does better than me, you know. And we're going to have to stop here. Oh, look at that. Oh, no. I thought it was a gratuitous bridge shot, but it's just a shadow. Sorry for moving around so quickly. That's mean of me. Come on, keep it going, 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 keep it going. Come on. Keep it going. I'm going to be mean to this and put the brakes on before throttled off. And we're rolling backwards even with the brakes on. Look at us gradually roll backwards, but the game doesn't seem to care. How far are we on the map? We are there. So about 1/3 of the way, but at some point we go downhill again. It'll be quicker then. All right, that's the first one done. Let's see if we can get this going again. So if I put the... it's that one, I think. Is that the independent brake? I think so. I think it is. So let's try about 60%. Brakes off and hopefully the independent will hold it. And let's give it lots of regulator, ridiculous amount of regulator that should just go, but doesn't seem to want to in this. Cocks close, engine brake off. Let's see if it works. Come on, you. Come on, you. Let's go. I'm holding down the sand key as well, so that makes a difference. You'll be meeting 93 at Woodstock. Good-o. Come on, more power. Oh, it's going forwards. But we're supposed to stop for the other locos too as well, I think. Let's go back to 56 because that worked. And 100% throttle. Have to keep the sand on or we're not going anywhere. It's interesting that it's got stops built into this for the water on when you look at it on the track, but it doesn't seem to actually do it. But we're going to do it anyway. Full brakes. Whoop. Emergency. That's probably too much. It's probably too much. Let's get... back on the independent, fully applied. So I can release the train brake and hope we don't roll too much. Because there's no way that independent's going to hold it, but you know, whatever makes the game feel happiest. Right, okay, let's try that again. No, 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 forwards, 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 forwards. Alright, get enough throttle on to hold it, and we'll get back into that cab and release the independent. See? We're going to have to go 100% again to make it move, aren't we? We'll pretend that's normal. I'm not keeping up with the map right now. Most of the mods you install into the DLC folder. Most of them. Some of them you install into root folders, but there's not many like that. I think I made a tutorial about loading mods. No worries, Putty Hat. Go for your life. Ian says I downloaded one mod, followed the instructions, got nothing after it. Maybe I put it in the wrong place, so I can't figure it out, so I just forgot about it. You need to find the right folders for yourself, because people's installs are all different. I'm not going to try any smart tricks with the independent this time. You're going to go up to Washington and Baltimore rails. That sounds cool. Andy says just watch a tutorial on there. May find it more helpful than just following a written guide. Yeah, they can be useful. And you can pause it and do what it says and then pause the next one. But the main thing is figuring out where your folders actually are. So they'll be under wherever you stored Steam. All right, now let's try again. It's crazy that what I'm actually doing works, but, you know. If it works this time. Oh, there we go. I was getting worried for a minute there. I was thinking we weren't going to do it. But we are. We have to stop again in a moment too. I think the track's up there, interestingly. It looks sort of, you know, flat like a bench. But very steep too. You think the train is very cross, Randolph? I'm pretty happy that it's accelerating. And I can see the other train we're meeting. There's a couple of pixels up there. That's the other train. I smell pancakes. I'm getting hungry now. Just for everybody's reference, I am continuously holding down the X key to drop sand. I have not released it since we started moving. Once we get up to about 8 miles an hour, I'll let go and see what happens. There you go, I've released it. No, we're losing speed straight away. We're straight away starting to slip. I will eat pancakes on stream, Randolph. How rude am I? Oh, look at that. Ew. This is going to be challenging. Thank you. It's my good lady other half. We have banana pancakes with maple syrup and melty chocolate bits by the looks of it. Well, that's properly sticky. Do you know, if you were here, mate, Ian, she'd be feeding you. She's Greek. Feeding is what they do. You just had cheeseburgers for 4th of July. How's the 4th of July going? Lots of fireworks and stuff yet? It's a pretty big year for you guys. It's 250 years of independence. That's actually pretty cool. Isn't it funny how we were running on 80% reverser for ages without slipping at all, and on 57 I slip if I let go of the sand. I could turn off the camera and just let the cat deal with it. She's pretty good at driving trains. I keep trying to coax my other half onto the stream and get her to drive a train. Ian's off to buy his flight ticket. Whoops. What did I do? There it goes. Why did it get stuck whistling? Is that stopping point going to actually have us in the clear? Oh, it might. Barely. No. Right, that should have us in the clear. There goes the other one. No whistling, though. Naughty.
Do you want another one?
No, thanks, full. Thank you. Nice pancakes, though. Quite good.
I need to make them fatter, like fuller.
That might look pretty good.
Yeah, this one's better than those.
I've got sticky fingers. I'll be right back. Uh-oh. Headphones on, Graham. Apologies, folks. I had sticky fingers. Yeah. Happened to my headphones. They've gotten stuck in my chair somewhere. What's that wrapped around? That was awkward. I somehow managed to wrap it around 3 places on my chair. Right, I guess it's time to go again. Off we go then, I guess. We'll just go back to 100% throttle because that's been working for us. And we'll pretend that's okay. So we'll see what she does. Randolph, it's going good. Nothing going on outside, though. We had a blistering heat wave and severe thunderstorms all day, so I think we're going to have fireworks. I can't imagine the fireworks people giving up. So we'll see. Andy says, got Chinese takeaway for dinner for my youngest 17th birthday. Oh, happy birthday. And so realistic departing on 100% throttle and blowing a safety when we're working this hard. Both interesting events. Ian says the US are probably concentrating on the soccer, real name is Football World Cup, to celebrate its independence. I don't know how popular it actually is in the US. It's a game that's gaining popularity in Australia, but it's not there yet. It hasn't really got the financial backing that it needs. Did I just knock my reverser to 80%? Hey! We put a road here, in the middle of nowhere. .1%. Let's see, could I get down to the reflective water and get a nice shot? Yes. Get 2 locos in the screenshot. Nice. I like it when things like that work out. Randolph says it's okay in the US, decently popular. We know about it being in there, and it's not the main focus here, you know, but I think a lot of Americans know football. But we have Australian rules. There's the VFL version of that. There's soccer, rugby league, rugby union. There's quite a few variations. We don't have to stop here, do we? No, Palisades is next stop. As we keep climbing and climbing and climbing. Let's see if I can leave off the sand for a while. And I'm not going to touch anything because this is working. We'll just accept that and move on. And keep an eye on the speed. And you're making a brief stop at the Palisades for passengers to admire the view. You get stuffed. They can look out the window. Anyway, Andy says, clearly whoever did this doesn't understand how steam trains work. No, they don't. Very much not. Milepost are good at the visuals. They're not good at the operations. Ian says at least you're doing a reasonable speed. Yeah, it's not too bad now. 10.8. We'll accept that. Hello, Frostfire. Welcome along. My train has passengers indeed. They're in here. Look. There they are. They're in there. There's like 4 of them. Andy says definitely getting a railroader vibe. It is similar countryside. This is the Colorado side though, so it's the other end of the country. Colorado's closer to the west end and railroaders closer to the east side of the country. Because railroad is operating in, I think, Tennessee from memory. Somewhere around that region. Or Virginia? Maybe Virginia. West Virginia, maybe. So do we have to put the coach in the platform at the Palisades? Let's just go up and have a look at what we're going to be dealing with. Oh, look at that. That looks pretty nice, actually. Oh, we're slipping. That's what that cray-cray sound is. That's our track. So we went along there, gone around, and we've come back up here now. So I assume the Palisades is around there somewhere. I don't know. Something like that. But anyway, let's go back to the train. Not all railways ran caboose. I don't know if this one did. But on a lot of really steep mountain railroads, you actually wouldn't have one. You'd have a combine. Which could well be what that passenger is. Look at that. There's the water tank we stopped at down there. Look at that height difference. Ah, it's massive. And there's the other train that we just departed from. We passed. It's roaring off down the hill at about 3,000 miles an hour because its brakes probably don't work. I'm glad you like the cat, Frostfire. I'm running a little open source server that animates the cat to my voice and in theory makes her blink when I do, but I'm kind of convinced she blinks when she feels like it. What does the bell sound like? I think we're here. Don't go rolling backwards. You stop. Seriously. There's the screenshot. How far back can we get? Is that it? Really? Oh, hang on. Nah, that's yucky. I'm getting in close enough that it draws the textures and the stuff. It's a boring mountain, but it'll do. It'll do. All right, it's time to go to the Alpine Tunnel main. Wish us luck. .7% gradient. We're going to try the same trick 100% on the regulator. Shouldn't work. Holding down the sand button. I'm going to wear out my keyboard. You gave the bell a 10. There you go. Randolph likes the bell. Oh, it's moving. It's moving. We'll just have patience now. And we'll just assume nothing bad's going to happen. Grip it and rip it, says Andy. On tonight's stream, I'll be streaming another new indie game, Railway Dispatcher, which is a Japanese signalling game. It's a little bit like Rail Route, but it's a bit more intense. Good notion. They're Japanese. They love their trades. They have a lot. So I'll be running that tonight. Look forward to that one. Ian Bradley says you should have stopped in the tunnel to give the passengers a great view of the walls. Yeah, good plan. We'll be stopping at Alpine Tunnel to cut out the helpers. This part of the scenario will end once you arrive at Alpine Tunnel. So that's in 1.52 miles. So the uphill bit is almost done. And then we're going to have the screaming, sphincter wobbling downhill. Not that you'd really blow the whistle for the road, because, you know, you could see if anyone was coming for miles. I let go of the sand key and she started to slip straight away. Back on the sand key. On Wednesday night, we're going to be playing an interesting game, which I haven't actually tried yet. And the way it works, it's called Anomalous Coffee Machine, and you type in what should happen, like death or dismemberment or whatever. So the chat's going to decide what we type in on Wednesday night. So we'll see what happens. Oh, we're getting stuck in a mountain there. That's a good view. Randall says, are you ready for the heck that this locomotive braking of this train has it? The whole train has braking, but I think it'll suck. Andy Ladd said, I watched the video you did on the signalling game earlier. It looks pretty decent. Yeah, for such an early game, I think they could be on a winner. I'd set up one of the stations on my railway, but we only have 6 trains a day, so, you know, it's not that exciting. Ian says, I saw the premiere of the Dispatcher game earlier. It looks rather fun. Yeah, it should be all right. It's actually on sale on Steam at the moment. Let me grab you a... I think I put a link in the description, didn't I? I think I did anyway. There'll be plenty of chaos on Wednesday, yes. Chaotic moments for sure. It's actually weird. I've been playing a Japanese story explorer, which I quite like. It's called, what is it? It's Cat Island Petrichor. And I quite like it, but it has these random nude cutscenes that aren't cats. So I won't be streaming it. But the game itself's actually quite good if you're into explorers, story explorers. It even helps you out. If you take too long to figure out the puzzles and things, it kind of tells you where to go. Randolph said, surely the braking can't suck as badly as the acceleration. Surely both things can't suck. Eh, we'll see. We'll see. The brakes on locomotives this old wouldn't have been self-lapping, that's for sure. Not in this time frame. But they are self-lapping in the game. 0.82 miles, but I actually think it's quite further than that. That seems to be holding speed, so let's just leave that. Because I think... Alright, so we'll be dumping the helpers here, which looks like it's on a flat, and then we head into the tunnel. But I don't think the tunnel's actually real. What have we got in here? We've got coal and a covered turntable. And a covered water tank. Nice. They're slipping again, aren't they? They're losing speed. How are we doing for time? Wow, it's taken nearly 2 hours to get up here. Wow! Where's the train? Yeah, it makes sense, Randolph, because this place would be under a great deal of snow in wintertime, and they'd want to be able to run trains in winter, so it makes sense to have it all in a shed. Imagine keeping this ploughed in wintertime. You'd have to keep the ploughs to the top and run them to the bottom and to plough it so you've got gravity helping you, and then take them straight back to the top and keep them there before the track got covered up again. We can't see the other train anymore. It's gone off down the valley down there somewhere. I was curious the height difference. Randolph says, is that foreshadowing the next scenario? We're possibly going to do a snow run. Depends how much time we have. Because I want to run down the other side with this train first. We'll see how we go for time, whether I do the snow one as well. The snow one was even harder, I have to say. I actually think that with the snow one, you're going to have to be pretty determined to not give up. And the most I was getting was about 4.5 miles an hour. So that's like a 4-hour trip up the mountain. Ian said it's time to wake to bed. 1:25. Great stream as always, and see you again soon. Yeah, have a good sleep, Ian. Hope you have a good night. Thank you for coming in. Thank you to everybody for coming in fact. If you find these streams entertaining and you're not subscribed, please have a consideration if you would. And if you like the content, tell your friends. And if you make content, let me know, because I'm happy to subscribe to the up-and-comings. Because it wasn't that long ago that I had a tiny channel. Now I've got a small channel. Hey, Hectic Jojo, welcome along. No, Thomas. This is where this scenario ends, and then we'll run the next one. Be really cool if they didn't end it right here and you got to shunt the helpers out, because that would be fun, I think. That'd be a little bit of a challenge with this small amount of trackage. It'd be good fun. Hectic Jojo says your timing is rather excellent on your SPG adventure. You join as I finish. Pardon my rudeness. Ah, that's pretty normal. That happens with lots of people with mine too. So we're now going to run the one down the other side. And being really brave, I'm not even going to restart Train Simulator Classic, which means it will probably explode. Ah, so we've still got one helper, have we? Oops. So we've got train order 16, engine 66, train 94. It should have given us another order when we met the other train. Between Alpine Tunnel and St Elmo. Elmo wants tickles. So we've still got one helper, and he's on the back now. Or is he just there to help us get going, and then we run down the hill? Yes, we've certainly gotten rid of one of them, who's shunting away. Let's see what he does before we bugger off. I wonder if I'll put him on the turntable to turn it around. As he sneaks off into the shed there. It's actually probably a good thing for a screenshot. And we can see through the window. Look at that. I shouldn't get so excited about such things, but I like things like that. No, I reckon he's just going to bugger off and head down the hill, actually. I think he's just going to scoot, but he can't because we're in the way, so he'll probably crash into us if I don't leave. Better do that then. All right, we will try the same trick, even though we're still on an upgradient here. So let's get our reverser to 57 was working okay. 56, let's try that. Sand, full throttle, brakes. And we'll wait and see what it does. Something. Come on, Chuffer. There she goes. How old is the game? Well, this has got roots in Microsoft Train Simulator, which was 2001. This one is This is a 2024 release of Railworks, which came out in 2008. And Train Simulator Classic, the name it has today, the first one was 2012. But it's basically the same code base. Randolph wants train orders in TSW6. Maybe that'll be a TSW7 feature. Whoop, slippy, slippy. We won't need to work this hard soon. This will transition to the downgrade. Yeah, 2001 party hat. Microsoft Train Simulator came out in 2001. And something else I've got down here, I'm using a TSCX controller today, but I have the rail driver that I got to play MSTS in 2001. So it's a piece of computer hardware that's 25 years old. And it still works. Which is kind of amazing, really. TSW7 has not yet been announced, but, you know, if you look at every year we get a new version. In fact, Party Hat, you're new to this. Make sure you pick up the free version of TSW7 when it comes out, assuming it does. Hectic says, I like AOBS calling points on the timetable services. That's pretty neat. Whoop, slippy, slippy. Into the tunnels we go. And the gradient is dropping off already. We make our way forwards into the gloom. So we can probably come off the throttle a bit now. And we can probably come off the reverser a bit too. That almost looks like a station on the left there. Almost. There we go. We'll just have a smooch of steam to keep the cylinders lubricated. Let's see if we can get it. There we are, 1%. Perfect. And we're already going a bit too fast, but we won't let that worry us. We won't let that worry us at all. And I'm going to use the American practice of running on about 25%. Are you worried that we're running twice the speed limit already? And we're completely out of control? And the brakes aren't really doing anything yet? I'm not worried. Now I'm worried. No, we're still picking up speed. Yep, I think the brakes are as shitty as the, There we go, now we're reducing speed a little. Let's get the speed back under control a little bit. It's not really long enough for it to recharge, but let's go straight to 30%. Let's see what it does. No, that's still accelerating. Let's go to 40, see what it does. It's going to be one of those runs, I think. Randolph says, what routes are you excited about? I'm looking forward to Tadami, but I like really slow, narrow gauge stuff, so that's why. I think a lot of people will actually be disappointed in Tadami. So this is self-lapping. I shouldn't be able to partially release it, but I can. That's okay. No, it looks like I can't partially release it. Ah, it's alright, it'll figure it out. Colin Steele says Train Sim Classic does better than Train Sim World for Steam. It does. And there are some really good steam engines. If you look at the stuff that Smokebox has built and New Zealand Train Workshops, they've done some amazing things with steam engines. Will we hold the brake this time? No. It's going to be one of those sawtooth kind of days, I think. You know what we could try and do, which is something that's very mean to a steam engine to do this, but let's just try. Let's see if they thought about this in their simulation. What's the worst that happens? It explodes and I start again. Right, how much so I can control the speed? Nah, they haven't thought about using the reverser. This was not an uncommon practice to actually go downhill on the reverser. So you're using the steam engine to slow itself down, not just the brakes. Oh, in fact, I think it actually is working, because, yeah, I think it is working to some extent. All right, maybe Milepost have thought about it. She's running away again, though. Nah, they haven't thought about it. Nah, they definitely haven't thought about it. I actually think that's making it accelerate more. That's all right. If we keep the speed below 30, I'll be happy. Randolph wants the emergency brake. Colin Steele says, even though the Yoga game is new, I recommend anybody's interested in Steam to buy the newer program, Train Sim World. Oh, look, for Steam, Train Sim Classic's probably actually better, but there are other Steam simulations as well. Railroad is quite good. They all sound the same, but their Steam operation is actually fairly realistic. So I think we're going to have a downhill like this, where I get it. Oh, actually, we're supposed to stop here. We're meant to stop. I think we're uncoupling a loco. I just noticed that. We probably should have done that ages ago, shouldn't we? I think we're supposed to leave our old mate behind. This one. Oi. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing that? I think that might have been reading drift from a controller or something. Gunk, can I uncouple you? Gunk, no. Let's try and get into the coupling thing. So which one's this? This is 62, so we want to get rid of 62, don't we? Let's put the handbrake on. It won't let me uncouple it, even though it wants me to, which is interesting. Let's get a bit more stoppage into it. Let's go a full emergency application. That'll stop it, maybe. And I think what we might actually have to do is... Right. Now can I do it? There we go. That worked it. Oh, no, coupled again. Now let's get mine out of here. Come on. Come on. Go. Don't couple again. Oh, no, it's coupled again. Oh, this is infuriating. It's really infuriating. Come on. Right. So if I can get into the cab of this one now. Can I get in here? Can I actually do anything with the cab in here? No, I can't. It's probably coupled again now. Yep, it's coupled again. I don't know why it wants me to uncouple, but you know. And it's not recognizing it that it's happened either. On you, get out of here. Well, fine, I think we're keeping it. I give up. We're keeping it. Has that actually put the brakes on at all? Yeah, it has. That's a £10 reduction. See if we can get rid of it now. Whoop. Nah, we can't. And the handbrake's on, so it's just going to catch fire. But that's fine. Yeah, it doesn't work at all. That's fine. Thanks, Milepost. Maybe I should have left that one behind at the top. Randolph's taking back the suggestion of going downhill in the snow. Yes. Let's see if I can get rid of it now. Just when we come off the brakes, I'll try. Those couplers shouldn't be under tension, so this should be fine. I've completely released the brakes. Why did it stop? There it goes again. Come on. We're not going to be uncoupling, I don't think. I don't think we're going to be uncoupling that. Oh, maybe. Did I get it? Did I get it? I got it! Yay! Bye-bye, locomotive. It's still following us, though. And it didn't actually recognize that I've done it anyway. Gah. Ah, that's fine. That's fine. What could go wrong? That's fine. Andy thinks this is a point to rage quit. Hectic Jojo says, I don't think I'd have tried it, to be fair. It's too hard basket. I don't know. I think she's alright. It's just not realistic. Now, what did that locomotive do? Did it just stay there, or is it buggering off? No, it has literally just stayed there. And it's making a noise like it's rolling. How interesting. We'll ignore that. I'll put a few handbrakes on, maybe that'll help. We can try that. Once it starts moving. Is 26 my front, or is that this one? That's that one. So let's put a few handbrakes on at the back. That might help control our speed. Let's try that many for a start. Still accelerating. Let's try a few more. It's not an unusual practice to pin your brakes. Well, that's helping. Yeah, it's helping. That's slowing our acceleration down. Yeah, it's helping. We're not quite the dramatic runaway that we were. We're still not good, but we're not a dramatic runaway now. There you go. Andy says, certainly seems to be a hard one. It is pretty hard. I'll give you that. Let's just try and make a very small brake application and see what that does. We've got Hancock Tank coming up. We should probably get water again at Hancock Tank and wait for that other one to crash into the back of the train. Troublesome truck, says Rails. And I'm being stalked by a haunted kettle. Does feel that way. Wouldn't it be terrible if it derailed now? No, there's no way to make it skip onto the sequence. And yes, it is going to break the scenario, but we're going to drive it to the bottom of the hill anyway because I'm a stubborn prick. And in fact, I want to stop her at Hancock and get some water. Could that be a gratuitous bridge shot? Yes. It's going to stop, isn't it? Yep. Ah, she's rolling again, even with half the handbrakes on. Let's help her along. We're very much skull dragging it with the handbrakes on. I like it. Actually, we should put that up there like that. And does it look better on the other side in the sun? Probably. Now, I know it doesn't actually want us to stop, but we're going to do it anyway. Who would have thought those handbrakes really do make a difference? Because actually we can work quite hard. Damn it. About there, I think. Come on, back you go, even with the handbrakes. You can do it. You can do it. Might have to take the handbrakes off. I don't know if it's actually going to recognise me being at the tank anyway, really. We'll see. Oh, it does. Good enough, apparently. We'll pretend that was enough. Let's take some handbrakes off. Two made a pretty big difference. 3, 4. Now, what were we supposed to do in this? We're supposed to drop off 62, go by the Hancock tank, pick up passengers from the Hancock depot. It won't reset, but let's do that. They may still get in. So there's another engine waiting there. Nice and clanky. Nice and clanky. Stopping way too quickly. It's definitely in the platform, but I don't know that she'll get in because we didn't do the right thing. Maybe I should go back to the start and do the right thing. But no, we'll just pretend. It'll be fine. We'll just do all the stuff that we're supposed to do. So what's next? Pick up passengers from Romley. Then we're going to drop off a bunch of stuff at Gulf Hill Main. And Gulf Hill Upper Spurs. We've got to put some stuff up there. Pick up the stuff at Gulf Mill Lower Spur. And then pick up our train again and then go to St Elmo. We shall do that. So the next place that we need to stop at will be Romley Depot. So we need to keep an eye out for that. Okay. You can go now. They have an air pumping noise when it's just rolling. That's nice. The map is a pretty good size. I couldn't tell you in miles, but it's pretty decent. So we've done quite a run today. But it's mostly because we're running very slowly. Although we're getting faster. A lot faster. As we come down this side. And we're going to be sawtoothing the whole way because its brakes are terrible. Alright, let's go back on and put some handbrakes on at the back again because that was helping a lot. Yeah, it is the gradients that make it long, that's for sure. I tried using the reverser Randolph and it actually went faster. Little mine outpost there. The party says, is horseshoe curve long? It looks like it. It is quite a long one, yes. And horseshoe curve has fast bits and slow bits as well. I forgot where we were stopping. Hancock Tank, Allybell Main, which is there, and then Romley Depot, which is a bit further away. Randolph says you can go south on that route to get coal. You can indeed. The coal run's actually a lot of fun. It's actually quite hard, the big coal run. Let's go there for the photo. You don't have to go in free roam, Party Hat. There's services for it. And I would suggest you learn the air brakes on the trains before you try and run the coal line on that one. Because in the steep bits, it gets a little hectic. Just a little hectic. Horseshoe unlocks some more layers in MBTA on the Worcester route. Yes, it does. Turns up in a few, actually. If I can put the handbrake on these cars. No, they're not active. Ah, it's a bummer. That would have been handy. How far away is our next stop? Oh, not too far. And then we've got some shunting to do, I think. Was it shunting? No, it's passengers here at the next one. So even though it's not going to recognise that I've done it, we'll still do it. Because train sim classics like this. A little bit shit. Party Hag says I return my TSW2 or keep it. If you've got TSW6, it's got everything in TSW2, but TSW2's routes will disappear if you get rid of it from TSW6. So if you want the TSW2 routes, like Bakerloo and things like that, you probably want to keep hold of it. Randolph says, if you're a fan of Horseshoe Curve, you might be interested in Sandpatch Grade. It is fun. Make sure you turn on banking com, or you will run away and be sad. Do you know I've got nearly all the handbrakes on? Everything except the engine is now on. Oh, that's actually helping. Look, that's actually slowing us down. We'll go with that. Yeah, keep Sandpatch. Hectic says, I got random CSX cars in NEC Boston. Took longer than I want to admit to realise I got them from Sandpatch Grade. Will Morristown get freight? I don't know. 4% gradient. Handbrake on the loco too. Hectic says Sandpatch is beautiful. After the cajon, it's a bucket of cool water to the face. That's a good way to describe it. With the sale on, picking up old versions of Train Sim World is a great way to get routes, because every one of them comes with 3 routes, and if you buy the deluxe edition, they come with 4 or 3 in a loco. Have fun, Party Hat. Enjoy yourself. Now, we're supposed to pick up passengers here, so let's go up to the back of the train and see if we can make it stop in a relatively sensible place. Which shouldn't be possible because, you know, we've got all the handbrakes on, so putting the air brakes on should make no difference at all right now. But it clearly is. Because these people know nothing about trains, and that's okay. Are we going to make it into the depot? Probably not. That too, I'm going to have to force it to roll now. Probably am. Actually, we'll just pretend we've stopped there because, you know, it's good enough. Because we know it's not going to pick up the passengers anyway. It's an interesting little spot, isn't it? Little town up in the middle of nowhere. With what looks like a gratuitous bridge shot opportunity coming up. And indeed it is. Actually, let's come up a little bit. You can hear the gold mine running in the background there. We'll do that for the photo opportunity. Why not? This is one way to control the train going down the hill. Sandpatch grade is coal, I believe. Mostly coal intermodals. I think there's some tank car services. And my railway, we'd actually be putting the reverser into full forwards at this point, but I am told that the Coloradans don't actually do that. Hectic Jojo says Sandpatch sounds better than Wooded Hill grade. Yeah, I guess so. They probably made sense to somebody. What does Google think? Why is Sandpatch grade named Sandpatch grade? There we go. And it says it comes from Sandpatch, Pennsylvania, the small mountain railroad settlement and summit point where the route crests the Allegheny Mountains. There you go. It's a town called Sandpatch. It's probably a sandy patch in the Rocky Alleghenies, I guess. Makes sense. Now, even though Scenario won't recognise it, we will do some shunting here at Gulfhill Main. I think that's where we were supposed to do it. Yes, so we're going to drop everything off there. We're going to drop one car there, and we're going to pick up the other cars and then put them all together. Okay. So we're just going to take that front one. We're delivering some coal to the Gulfhill. That makes sense. Now, where are these spurs? Oh, down there, so we better stop soon, eh? Down there. Good-o. Yeah, on you. Bring it to a stop. You know you want to. Come on, stop. Stop, 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 stop. It's either going to be just good enough or just bad. Oh, lucky. Lucky. Can I uncouple the cars? I can. And those ones should all stay behind now. No, don't couple again. Go away. You shouldn't be able to roll anymore. You're uncoupled. It is still moving, isn't it? So it thinks I've got nothing coupled to it. That's interesting. We are trying to push this one against its handbrake, and I don't think we can do handbrakes in this game from here, so since it thinks I've got nothing coupled to it, that's fine. And I think we want to put it up here, and then we've got two cars to collect from down there, so let's just make sure our points are set. And indeed they are. It's weird that it thinks I have nothing connected to it. But there you go. Thinks I don't even have a train. I was thinking the rest of the train was going to crash into me as well. There you go, with just one car we can try this. Is that slowing us down? It is slowing us down. Look at that, it works. So you can use the reverser to slow down. That'd be ridiculous. Now, hopefully we can uncouple this by hand, because we can't use the map to do it. Good. I have to wonder if the locomotive handbrake is on. Because it shouldn't be working this hard. Got anything in here yet? No. I think the handbrake is still on, but I didn't have any way to take it off. And I think the handbrake on the loco might be on too. Oh, there she goes. She's running away now. So I think we've got a train? No. That's fine. That there should do. You can hear the gold mine running. Hectic says a question of the GP60. Sorry, I wasn't keeping up. I'm looking at grabbing HSC this week. Wanted to check if the GP60 was different enough from the other locos first. I'd wait for a sale for the GP60s, just personally. They're a sale set to me, those ones. I'd go with a different route, Hectic Jojo. Randolph says, overall hectic on for us to US freight run. Sekia get its fast made for lighter consists. Very good brakes. The GP60 is basically a good training loco. It's a very unrealistic loco too. I actually think that might have crept forward just a little bit. It definitely has. It definitely has crept forward a little bit. Yeah, we only just cleared that. It's ridiculous having to go into emergency to stop your train. It really is. That's just bollocks. Complete bollocks, and it still hasn't stopped. Where's my switch stand? There it is. Look at that. Nowhere in it at all, and it hasn't stopped yet. Not a chance. It would have just ground to a halt straight away with that little consist. I don't care what gradient it's on. All right, back we come. I'll probably have to go 100% throttle or something crazy. Let's try, since that was the sweet spot for the other way. Yeah, on, back you come. All right, 100% throttle then, see if I care. There it goes. Yeah, it's moving now. This mod here is silly. I was going to say something else then, but that's okay. You like the whistle, Randolph? Now after this lot, we done all those. We're picking those up, and we go to St Elmo. So that'll be it. And looking at the time, that probably really will be it too. Let's see if my grass is dry enough to mow. It's a problem at this time of year. It desperately needs mowing, but it's too wet. No, so it's just going to stop. Righto, we have got a train again. Oh, look, we've got stuff again. You know, I thought the engine's handbrake might have been on, but it's not. All right, let's release the brakes and let it roll with its handbrakes on. It'll be fine. We might have to help it get going. We're skull dragging the train. HSE is Horseshoe Curve. It's a route through the Allegheny Mountains. The same Allegheny Mountains that the Sandpatch Grade's in, I believe. We've got our whole train back, and we're heading to St Elmo. If we look at the map, just got a little way to run, and St Elmo Depot is where we drop off passengers. Pin down a few more brakes. as we desperately try and get this down the hill without it running away completely. So I think with some modifications, the B4D would be okay. But you need to modify the files, which means you need to unpack the AP packages. WinZip can undo the packages, but I use TS Tools because TS Tools also lets me choose the locomotive and modify parameters and save it back in, so you don't have to worry about corrupting your files by doing it by hand. Because some of the files are binary and some of the files are text, so the text ones are easy to change. The binary ones, you've got to put the values in the right place, and TS Tools comes in very handy for that. Hectic Jojo apologises for not everyone knowing the acronyms. This is true. There is a list of them somewhere. Cane Creek, I call that boring chasm, Randolph. And I fear that the new route will be similar, but we'll see. We'll see what it's like. Andy says, speaking of Railroader, what is happening with that game? Wasn't it supposed to have a maintenance update by now? It's been 3 months since you mentioned it. Yeah, it was supposed to have come out. It hasn't yet. They're still developing some new functionality. I got the impression there's a bit of scope creep involved because they're developing some stuff that they've never talked about. So maybe it was in their plans and they just didn't talk about it, or maybe it's just new stuff they just feel like doing. So I'll probably get the terrible intercity transport system out again for another run. Might even do that next weekend, actually. It's been a while. It's been a while. St Elmo Depot is coming up, so I should probably think about slowing down. At least a little bit. In fact, I can cheat some more. And we'll just put the Loco's handbrake on, because that slows it down quite nicely. Or it did. Maybe it's not now. This is where you start the first scenarios in this game. And it's a nightmare to get started on this gradient that goes straight into 4%. Back into emergency and it'll be fine. You can tell how well the brakes work on this train. And it won't recognise the stops, but that's okay. There we go, picking up our passengers here, and they're getting on and off, as you can see. Works good. Works real good. All right. Let's get off the brakes. And now we've just got to go down to the portal. Is it time for a bit of a runaway run down to the portal and see how fast it can go? I think so. I think so. So we've effectively completed the scenario, but because I messed up and didn't disconnect the helper loco at the start, I can't finish the scenario. Because I should have done it right at the beginning, I think. I didn't see the instruction till it was too late. So let's just find out just how fast you can actually go. Runaway train! Hello, Hawks! We're just running away down the grade, completely out of control. Don't mind us. In fact, we probably want to be on the back to see the maximum mayhem. Oh, she's almost gone. She's almost gone. I don't know how it's staying on the tracks. I really don't. We're out of control. Well, there she goes. Nice. Perfect. That's how we end it. And we'll blame Hawks for that. I kind of enjoyed that, to be honest. A little bit too much. A little bit too much. See, what's really sad is they don't show you what happened because they go into this derail screen straight away. And I actually have to say that Train Sim Classic has good derail physics. And it makes me sad that they don't show it to you. But anyway, that's it for today's stream, I think. Excuse the hiccups. I've gotten quite badly. But that's it for today's stream. And thank Little Miss Purple Pussy for joining us today. So it's always fun. Tonight we'll be playing Railway Dispatcher, which is a Japanese train signalling game. I will start off playing the one that I played in the recording that I premiered last night, quite late, and I will go on to Rush Hour in that route, and maybe we'll tackle one of the others as well. We'll see. We will see. We'll see how we go. I'm not that confident, but that's okay. Anyway, it's been loads of fun. I'm going to go and see if I can mow my grass, because that seems exciting, because the sun's out, and maybe the grass is dry, maybe it's not. If it's not, I'll probably just going back to playing the Japanese Cat Puzzle Explorer, which has random unexplained nude girl scenes in it. But they're there. So I won't be streaming that game. No, it would get my channel killed. Alrighty. Have fun, folks. Enjoy yourselves, and we shall see you later. Thank you very much for coming in, and this has been the Colorado Southern Alpine Tunnel by Milepost Simulations. I think I pretty much agree with a lot of what was said at that review at the start. The B4D is terrible. So I will copy the one that I fixed for Clear Creek over the top of the one in this route, and then it will probably be fine. Alrighty, have fun, folks. Enjoy yourselves, and we shall see you later. I actually think there's one on Workshops too. I think there's a Steam Workshops B4D that fixes it. But anyway, have fun. Bye.